Powerwash Simulator is a game that arrived in early access in 2021 and then got the rest of the world addicted on its full release a year later. It's a game that simulates washing with power. Those gifs you've seen that has people in the comments saying, "This is one of the best videos I've seen. My eyes were stuck to the screen." They made a video game about that. And the worst part is, it's fantastic. Developed by Future Lab, Powerwash Simulator is a game where anyone can watch 2 seconds of gameplay and know what it's about. Oh, it's about washing. You are given a task of cleaning various environments, beginning from simple, everyday things like cleaning your van to uncovering the lost palace of a life. It's also a game where you can immediately know if it's for you. Oh yeah, this is good stuff. Even Square Enix and Microsoft saw it and thought, oh yeah, this is good stuff. The main appeal of Powerwash Simulator is it gives us not only the satisfaction of cleaning, but it gives us what cleaning in real life can't. It tells us where the dirt is and when it's clean. Cleaning in real life sucks. Here's me mopping my tiny South Korean flat. If you see any dirt, just know that I'm the first person to say it was like that when I got here and actually mean it. Powerwash Simulator, on the other hand, gives us this, oh that's nice. Each level of Powerwash Simulator is made up of loads of little areas, like fence, gutter, and doghouse. When you finish cleaning one of these, you get that ding sound. I don't get a ding. This ding lets you know this little section is done, and you can move on. You also never have to clean every teeny tiny speck of dirt to get a ding. You can think of it as only needing to clean 90% or so of something before you get a ding, at which point the rest of the dirt is automatically cleaned. The more you play, the more you'll find what works best for you in terms of how you like to clean. Whether it's cleaning the edges first and working inwards to outwards, or just cleaning whatever happens to land in your eye line. But most likely you'll quickly go from the slow, methodical cleaning, like you see in GIFs, to just waving your washer like a madman. You can always see how much of a section you've cleaned thanks to this handy progress bar. Quick tip, you can also go into the menu to see the progress of every section in the level. And when clicked, it'll become highlighted, which is fantastic for finding those last few sections you missed. You can also see the dirt you haven't cleaned at the press of a button. All remaining dirt will be highlighted in yellow. Sometimes though, this is really hard to see and you'll have to resort to madman tactics. Sometimes for larger sections, if you've been cleaning it thoroughly, the dirt will reach that 99% threshold and the rest will just disappear before your eyes. Each ding contributes to the percentage of the level completed, which you can see in the top left. Not only can you see physically that the level is getting cleaner, but you know exactly how much. Not to mention, when you do completely clean every section, at the end of every level, you're given a time lapse of you cleaning, which is just one of those chef's kiss perfect ideas to put into a game like this. Now, a game like this doesn't exactly sound like something you'd expect to have a story. Most simulator games are gameplay first and foremost, that serve to give players the opportunity to scratch an itch they didn't know existed until now. And while Powerwash Simulator certainly is that, it also takes the opportunity to have fun with its narrative. Every level can be separated into 2 categories. Location levels where you're cleaning a building of some kind, and vehicle levels, levels where you clean vehicles. Both types of stages escalating as the story goes on. The level starts simple with cleaning the back garden for a man named Calvin, but as you'd expect, the levels get more complicated and take much longer to complete. You earn money as you go on, giving you the ability to upgrade your equipment, like buying new washers, new nozzles to reach tougher spots, and soap. It's soap. Am I supposed to talk about this for 20 minutes or something? Throughout these levels, you'll get text messages from various people, usually whoever has hired you. The people that hire you are the town of Muckingham, where most of the game takes place. Yeah, it's called Muckingham. And no, it's not a real place in Britain. I don't think. Some of these messages are pretty simple, like the person who's hired you complimenting your work. Like when you clean Calvin's parents' house, he says, "Ma keeps messaging me. They're getting excited with how it's looking." And then his mum tells you, "Calvin's such a good boy. He's a volcanologist, you know? Is that a real job?" A lot of these messages are simply flavor text that on your first time through, you'll probably not even notice because you'll be too busy trying to, oh that's nice. They also let you know if there's a new mission you can take on, just in case you get fed up cleaning halfway through a level and want to change it up a bit. There is some nice little stories that run through the game though, that gives some character to the people you're working for and the people who make up the town of Muckingham. For example, you hear about the mayor, Mayor Jeff Jefferson XIII's cat, Ulysses, going missing. I cannot explain to you how annoying that was to read. Ulysses, who you can actually find across multiple levels. Ulysses also being someone who might just play the most vital role in the whole game. No, not really, but kinda. A level that gives us a hint as to what we can expect from the lore of the town of Muckingham is the little story that plays out as you're cleaning the detached house. The detached house, which sits at 212 Acacia Avenue, which has recently been bought by Aura Smith and Jenny Pebbles, who, before you even start this level, warn you by saying, hey, cards on the table, this is the house of Esther D. Ath. Good name. The eccentric actress who mysteriously vanished in the national park. We don't mind if the furniture moves around a little, that's just next level feng shui. And we all know the rumors surrounding the place, but we also know we've picked up an absolute bargain. I mean, yeah, you can't argue with that. Not to mention, the level starts off with Aura warning you of strange signs found on the house. The first you'll see is right on the front as you come up the driveway. You think nothing of it and wash it off, but you find another and another and another. Aura again texts you to say that Jenny's research says that it's the ancient language of angels. As you go on washing, Aura will text you about weird noises they're hearing from inside the house. Did you hear that weird rumbling noise? False alarm. Jenny put the washer on spin. But weirdly enough, they also warn you about the volcano, and even claim they saw a UFO coming at the top of it. A volcano we can't see on this level, but we could while cleaning the bungalow. After you nearly finish cleaning the house, you get another text message from your friend Harper, the one who found and sold you your van, complete with company logo somehow. They say, I've looked into the creepy symbols you found on the side of that house you're working on. Turns out they're just builder's diagrams telling you where to put the pipes in. But you keep finding these signs throughout the levels, and you start to think, I'm not so sure these are simple diagrams. After this, you work your way through another couple levels without much else weird happening. You clean a skate park, you go back to the detached house to clean an old car that belonged to Esther, and apparently Jenny and Aura are live streaming you washing it. We're hoping our new series will add another 100k subscribers to our channel. So exciting! Yeah, me too, buddy. Another standout level is the treehouse. This is one of the largest levels in the game, and the largest by far at this point. To get footage for this video, I of course had to play through the whole game again. The treehouse level took me 2 hours, which most other levels take about half of that, and the lore you get throughout cleaning the treehouse is Bigfoot facts. Yep, that's it. There is multiple points throughout the footage where I just leave my mouse idle as I realize how much more I still have to go. I've got a full-time job. But things get interesting when cleaning the fire truck, which you're asked to clean so that they can use it to chase Ulysses, the mayor's cat, who is not now simply missing, but now the mayor has tasked the entire fire service to find them. But Denver Drill, who hires you to clean the fire station and the truck, thinks that maybe the cat isn't actually missing, and maybe it's just a distraction the mayor is using to hide something more nefarious. Shortly after, Calvin the volcanologist says he spotted Ulysses the cat while out surveying Mount Rushless, the volcano. Why would a cat hang out 10 feet from a lava flow? I'm within a whisker of Ulysses now, he says, and Mount Rushless is rumbling more than ever. Other characters we meet throughout the journey that give us more life to the town of Muckingham is Hansel and Gretel Hexenjäger, whose first message to you after coming to clean their house is Hansel assuring you, I know it's natural for people to be suspicious, but we really are who we say we are. His next message being, yes, we moved here just after a week after the bank robbery, but people move house all the time. Both Hansel and Gretel keep messaging you, telling you things like, they definitely do not look like the husband and wife bank robbers, Floozy and Rocky McGee. Hansel looks nothing like Rocky McGee. Hansel has a huge beard, long unruly hair, and defeated eyes. Rocky was young, clean-shaven, and handsome. He would never run away from the law and hide out in a dank cottage for years, claiming to be a baker, unless he was completely desperate. They're honestly the most normal people in town. We also revisit Aura and Jenny to clean their RV, whose lives now seem to revolve entirely around creating content about Esther Diath. The fans just want Esther. We've raided the attic for all of Esther's old stuff and put it all in the vlog. They also, like all desperate YouTubers, they start their own cryptocurrency. Regardless, they gift you the RV and we give it to our buddy Harper, who's been messaging us for a while about trying to find one so we can take a trip out of town. That RV definitely won't be important later. As we continue, once again hired by Denver Drill to clean the fire service helicopter, which apparently got dirty because the pilot was so delirious from volcanic fumes that he swears he saw the mayor's cat on the side of the volcano. And at this point, you're probably wondering, what on earth is going on with that cat, and why is it that every time we see Mount Rushless, it's beginning to look more like it's about to blow. We then get directly hired by the mayor to clean his mansion after it's been bombarded by eggs. Don't ask me why, he says. I'm as fair and noble a mayor as this town has ever seen. He of course mentions his missing cat, but also mentions that the surrounding town has all been reporting missing cats. Once we're finished, the mayor also gives our details to his close friend Blake Thrust, who wants us to clean his insanely large drill that could scour beneath the earth. Well, anyway, we've accepted every other job without question, so why would we start now? But in a later mission, while cleaning a temple for some monks who supposedly went on a pilgrimage taking nothing but a vast amount of eggs, we also learned they took this pilgrimage because their local river water, which they used to grow all their crops, has been diverted due to the mayor's new pipeline. Most likely a new pipeline diverted by the very drill we helped clean. It's here we start to realise this story is going places, and there's no doubt that even we, as just a simple power washer, are playing an integral part. The first time I played Powerwash Simulator, I was playing it mostly just to play something satisfying and relax, since this game is genuinely one of the best games to play while listening to podcasts or watching YouTube in the background. And so all the story we've talked about so far went completely over my head. Most of the time I didn't even notice those texts popping up, and I definitely didn't read the little intro paragraphs before a mission. So it's only when we're hired once again by Blake Thrust that even my dead-brained first playthrough was forced to stop when I realised I had seen the word volcano coming up a lot. And not only that, but I suddenly came to when I realised that what I was cleaning was a laser attached to a private jet, which Blake tells us that when fired, its beam can reach 3 million degrees Fahrenheit. That's 1.6 million degrees Celsius for normal people, by the way. The mayor even hires us again so we can clean his boat so that he can definitely not run away. I'd appreciate it if we kept this between ourselves. I don't want anyone to get the ridiculous idea I'm skipping town. Which, while we're cleaning, our friend Harper contacts us asking, is it true that every single cat in Muckingham is missing? Our next mission is to clean a cat monster truck, where we learn that the search for Ulysses the cat has been called off. And there's a rumor that cats are being sacrificed to the volcano so it doesn't explode. Some people even think cats are actually all aliens and that they've been on a recon mission. Well, aliens, that's just too silly. Volcanoes are supposed to look like that, right? Powerwash Simulator takes roughly 30 hours to complete, and all the story we've talked about so far takes place in the first 2/3 or so. The final third, though, goes places. One of your last normal missions is to clean a fortune teller's wagon, and wouldn't you know it, she tries to tell us our fortune. You're someone who used to be wishy-washy, always flitting from one thing to another. Suddenly you feel this need to wash away the sins and malaise of the unfortunate. It's almost become a compulsion for you, a compulsion that's threatening to take over your life. Your future, it's really quite amazing. There are things you're going to do and see beyond your imagination in the next little while that are going to blow your mind. I'll go so far as to say that without you, this entire planet is lost. She tells us all this as we clean her wagon, including her crystal ball, and is that the fucking cat? Oh, and Calvin also tells us the volcano is ready to blow and the whole town is in danger. The last few missions are so different than what has come before, because now we have to travel outside of Muckingham, where an ancient statue has been unearthed due to recent seismic activity. And it may or may not be 8,000 years old. The statue, showing a human-like figure, adorned with grand armour, and it may even show a link to the aquatic ape theory. A theory that at some point in time, there was a divergent branch of humans that lived in water. When fully cleaned, the statue fires a beam from its head directly at Mount Rushless. We find out that not only was the statue unearthed, but also another ancient monument in the shape of a large hand with 6 fingers. And if we look carefully, we can see a procession of cats walking away from the volcano. Calvin's dad texts us to say that the volcano is about to blow sky high, reminding us that if that happens, all the cleaning we have done will have been for nothing. His car is safe in the garage though. That's good. Everything is coming to a head. Incredible waves are terrorizing the oceans, throwing ships to shore. Celebrities are fleeing the country. The horde of missing cats has reappeared and they are gathering together. And our friend Harper asks us to clean his RV one last time. And being just a simple power washer, there's little else we can do at the end of the world. Only when we walk over to the RV that we gifted him long ago, this happens. Harper, our friend that we've known since the beginning of this game, the one who even found our van, is actually a time-traveling scientist called Cerulean Sky from the year 2278, who came back in time in order to understand the mystery as to why Mount Rushless suddenly became so angry. They also want to know how nice red velvet cake is. They also mentioned that Rushless is the master key for the entire Pacific ring of volcanoes. When it blows, they all blow. While they were trying to monitor the volcano, they were shot down by a jet plane, which disrupted the timeline. Man, I wonder who that was. Since then, they've been stranded here, and only our washing skills can help get their ship back up and running. Listen, I don't know how that works, but I think we all stopped asking questions at this point. After we finish cleaning the UFO, they say they've got a plan to fix things. You'll know we were successful if you see us again. You'll know we weren't if Rushless explodes and the skies go dark for 20 years. Alright, looking forward to it. The final mission of the entire game is where everything has been leading. The threat of the volcano, the mystery of the ancient monuments, even the cats. Our final task: clean the lost city palace. In other words, the lost city of Atlantis, which we actually find it in the Pacific, but never mind. It also explains the missing cats, because apparently it smells like walking into a huge bowl of shrimp, which is why so many cats went missing and why we saw them all gathering together by the sea, because they're all trying to get as close as they can. The palace is huge and most likely the biggest and longest level to complete. Not only do you have to clean the huge walls on the outside, but also 2 floors inside. One of the first things you find is the centerpiece of the palace, a statue of you, the power washer. Continue cleaning the inside and you'll find murals depicting familiar places written in a language of symbols that we can't understand. Unless you're a Reddit user Artsy Axolotl who took the time to translate them. The first mural depicting the Book of Jobs, Part 1, which reads, "All hail the foretold one, and the objects of power that will cause great upset in the dirt. Dirt is their nemesis, their torment, their plague. Destroying it will bring great peace. The Mudseeker cleans all that lies before them. Filth has no refuge from the blast of the water wand, in which our hero will cure many shiny beasts of their soilage." The murals also depict our journey. All of the murals show everything you have cleaned, every house, every vehicle, from the point of view of those who have never seen them. Instead of the cat monster truck, the mural shows a lion on wheels. They even describe the characters we've met, such as the mayor, including the time we cleaned his mansion, which the murals describe as the Great Palace of the Wicked Man. Even the monuments we discovered and the UFO greeting us in the desert. Cerulean, aka Harper, explains that everything that has been happening is because after we cleaned and fixed the UFO, they were able to go back in time, following us on our power washing journey, where they discovered Blake Thrust's true ambitions. Blake Thrust was fascinated with the lost city of Atlantis. He discovered that they had technology fueled by a rare ore that can be found within Mount Rushless. After discovering this, Blake then mined that ore for himself, setting up a bunch of illegal mines in Mount Rushless, and used it to develop the tech we saw on his jet plane, all the while causing enough tectonic movement which led to destabilizing the volcano. Every strange occurrence that we have found throughout this game is because of Blake Thrust. But our friends from the future went even further back in time to warn those who built the lost city of our tales, constructing a palace in our honor, and that once cleaned skillfully enough would emit a neutralizing beam at the volcano, thus saving the day. Cerulean, now happy, they can return to their time as heroes with red velvet cake. And that is the end of Powerwash Simulator for now. As the credits play, we see all the time lapses from every level we have cleaned, and it's a weirdly heartwarming experience. Most of the main levels take a lot of time to complete, at least an hour, even 2 hours or so. So seeing all your time distilled makes you remember what you were doing while playing them, which podcasts you were listening to, that feature-length video essay you watch while playing the longer levels. Maybe you played this game over a long period of time and you remember the calm points when you were able to play this after a long day. For me, as I mentioned earlier, I live in South Korea, and the playthrough of Powerwash Simulator I played for this video was played during the first few weeks of me being here, playing in the few hours I have after work. So watching these time lapses, I know the person behind them is going through a huge event in their lives, and because I've recorded this, I'm going to be able to look back on this forever. And so I'm glad not only to explain the story of this game that I really love, it's such a nice point in my life that I've been able to share with you. So thanks for coming through this, but after those credits are over, we get a quick clip where we hang up our washer, and finally, the first mystery of the game is solved. We found the fucking cat. Powerwash Simulator is a game that tries to give more than most simulator games by having a fun story and a lot of details that are easy to miss. The greatest fault of Powerwash Simulator is how addictive its gameplay is, to the point that the story will often go over your head because of how satisfying the core gameplay is. Take a glance at discussions about Powerwash Simulator online and you'll find people asking, "What's with this thing going on?" And every time someone just responds, "Read the text, it's literally right there." There's more threads to pick up on that I mentioned too, like the involvement of Bigfoot, gnomes you can find in every level, and special stages you can play outside the campaign. Along with this game getting regular DLC with Final Fantasy levels, Tomb Raider, even SpongeBob as well. All sorts. This game has no doubt exceeded all expectations, and FutureLab has confirmed content is just going to keep coming. This game just goes to show that even a simple concept like power washing can be more than just a simple, brief itch-scratcher game, and can develop a strong fan following that loves not only the gameplay but all aspects when a fun and charming story is sewn throughout. If Powerwash Simulator 2 ever becomes a reality, I'd love more mechanics revolving around the town. Maybe you could drive through it or actually see character models and directly interact with them. Most simulator games feel so much more disposable compared to this game. Usually when I play simulator games, I usually scratch the itch the game has shown me and play for only a few hours. I have played Powerwash Simulator 3 times, all the way through the campaign, and my playtime is several days long. I love this game, and if you've gotten this far in the video without playing it, I really think you will too. With that, thanks for watching, give me a YouTube follow, and good luck finding my Patreon.